Welcome back. All right, we'll get to the latest Chiefs signing in a second, but first, Bubble Brew. Heat, big man Myers Leonard. Very good at basketball. Very good basketball beer challenge. Nick, you on board? This is extracurricular?
Well, listen, it's hard to chug out of a bottle, first of all. It's even harder, Greg, to have it. I mean, that's perfect. I don't know if that was on the first take or not, Greg. That shows skills.
Hey, that was impressive. I mean, we've seen some epic fails on that one. I've seen someone get hit in the face, hit right in the eye, trying to do that. That was impressive.
Yup.
Wilds, you hate it?
Myers Leonard, no, do not soil the NBA bubble with your viral marketing. He didn't pack a Coors Light cutoff. Now he's doing Coors Light. I want pure bubble, extracurricular, fishing, having fun. I don't want to, if he's getting a Coors Light check, that you're ruining the whole vibe of the bubble. Don't do it again. Take the Coors, we should blur it. We should re-edit this and blur it. No free advertising on this show, Coors Light, and don't soil the bubble with your marketing.
On to the sandwich star, Bill Belichick. The Patriots head coach filming a Subway commercial in Branford, Connecticut recently. Wilds, as Bill would say, this sandwich is good, but I'm on to the next sandwich now. I'm not going to talk anymore about this sandwich. I'll take any other questions. Wilds, am I right?
See, this is great. Yeah, this is great. I think we should put more Bill Belichick commercials free of charge on the show. This is perfect, unlike the last video. This sandwich actually called the Dynasty sandwich, Nick. You can send a lot to Kansas City and you guys don't have to eat them.
Listen, I'm just, I just take my cues from the mass media. And the mass media taught me last year with Baker Mayfield and Odell and others that if you're not the defending Super Bowl champion, you should never cut a single commercial ever. That you should be grinding film, you should be working, making most of your offseason. Best I can tell, Belichick just had the worst year he's had in 20 years as the Patriots coach. I don't know why he's wasting time trying to get a few extra shekels from Subway. Shouldn't he be breaking down film, figuring out why the Titans and Dolphins beat him to end the season? What Cam's going to do in the offense? Just seems like, I don't know, seems like a selfish move from Bill. It's what I was told.
No,
so when Baker cut his...
He's like, I'll sit there and eat the sandwich, but I'll grind film while I'm doing it.
Right.
Oh, this guy.
On to the cover star, formerly known as Patrick Mahomes, the reigning Super Bowl MVP. Is the latest athlete to grace the cover of GQ between the tracksuit, the jewelry, the pose, the stare down, the ring, all of it. Nick, give us a grade for his photo shoot, soup to nuts.
Listen, I'm not a fashion expert. My wife picks out all my clothes. Greg Jennings, a wife, also is a fashion expert, but Greg also, as you can tell from the hat, is the most fashionable one on the show, without assistance. Greg, your thoughts on the... I love the cover photo. I love the Gucci sweatsuit. Your thoughts on the whole ensemble, Greg?
I loved it. I loved it. That sweater right there that we see right now, clean. I loved everything about it. I thought he was able to show some personality. It gives us a little inside track on who guys are off the field and what their abilities are to dress and what their comfort level is as far as what they are going to put on. So I like it. I even like the little flip-flops there.
The Yeezy socks and sandals, you like that. You co-sign that, Greg. Wow. That's the hottest take of the show. Socks and sandals, Greg liked it.
I co-sign it all. Okay. That jumpsuit, clean.
All my sweaters are clean.
The jumpsuit's great, but the Yeezy socks
and sweaters are clean. That's funny, Jenna. I just got back from the dry cleaning, damn it.
Clean. It is. I got back yesterday. Sticking with the Chiefs, even after signing the aforementioned Mahomes to a $500 million deal. Still sounds like Dr. Evil. KC's bank apparently not broken. There's yet more money to go around, and here's how we know. Yesterday, Chiefs locked up Pro Bowl defensive tackle Chris Jones. 4 years, $85 million with $60 million guaranteed. That prompted Mahomes to tweet, and y'all thought we couldn't. Hashtag run it back. Which Chris Jones then replied to with big facts. Nick, how big of a deal is this in the Chiefs' pursuit of becoming the next dynasty? They're getting all their ducks back in a row.
Oh, this is a big deal, and this is thrilling. I don't know how Brett Veach and the front office did it, but they are bringing, quite literally, nearly everyone back. Kendall Fuller, the only significant contributor who's gone. I thought Chris Jones was going to be traded before the draft because I didn't think they were going to be able to make the money work. Why is this such a big deal? Two reasons. First of all, Chris Jones is the second best defensive tackle in the NFL, full stop. Aaron Donald is in a class by himself. And then if you look at sacks, quarterback pressures, the PFF grades, any of the advanced numbers, Chris Jones is better than every defensive tackle in football not named Aaron Donald. They just brought him back. Here's the other reason why it's critical. They now have their entire core of elite players locked up for at least the next 2 seasons. Show it. That's the 7 best players on the team. They are contracted through at least 2021, which means the core of the team is going to have a chance to win not 1, not 2, but 3 consecutive Super Bowls, which has never been done. And NFL history says if you're going to win a bunch, you better do it in bunches. The Patriots, we say they won 6 over 20 years, but they won 3 and 4, took a decade off, then won 3 and 5. And so, Greg, I think Chris Jones was the best player on the defense last year. I think he's one of the most underrated National League players in football. And to get him back on a 4-year deal is a massive coup for the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs.
It is a massive coup, and I agree with everything you said. But even more importantly, it brings that team together in ways that one cannot even imagine. To have a quarterback get signed for $500 million and then to turn around and sign who we all knew was an integral and marquee part of that the success of that team, specifically on the defensive side of the ball, and you make an effort to say, no, we're gonna retain you and we're gonna give you a large piece of this pie. That sends a message to everybody in that locker room, and they understand that, look, these guys are for us. So we got to do this again. And when our turn comes, hopefully we get the opportunity that everybody else is getting. And that's exciting as a player. Forget everything else. They're going to bring their nucleus back. They're going to keep rolling this thing, especially if they can keep finding ways to retain players like Chris Jones.
Hey, Nick. Carpe diem. I think you got a fair point. Seize the day. Try to make this dynasty happen. I don't think it's the right move. Neither does Bill Belichick, who currently has the dynasty championship belt around his waist while he's filming that Subway commercial. But look, the first rule of having a dynasty is like Fight Club. Don't talk about the dynasty. The second rule is don't talk about the dynasty. And the third rule is don't lock people into long-term guaranteed contracts. That's what Bill Belichick did. You guys want to go another route? Let's talk about Chris Jones's tweets here. He's not listening to the first rule of Bill Belichick Fight Club, which is, oh, let's go. The dynasty continues. You guys don't even have a dynasty yet. I don't know, what are we talking about, unless it's a Madden season he's in the middle of. Then he continues, run it, Sack Nation, run it back. I'm happy that he got his money. I love you, Chiefs. Great. Promise to bring you more championship rings and a Defensive Player of the Year. You know what? I believe in speaking into existence. The championship rings promise I like too. But Nick, I dug up an old clip. Not many people have seen this clip. I was like, you know what? This sounds familiar, this championship ring talk. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if we could play it, Hubs, we'll get Nick's reaction to this.
But we also know you 3 kings came down here to win championships. Not 1, championships.
Not 2.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
It's a little scene video, Nick. I don't know if you think if you've ever seen it or your reaction to it. And do you think the Chiefs are headed down the same path as the Heat, who went on to win 7 championships?
Okay, so listen, LeBron obviously didn't anticipate Dwayne Wade's knee was going to give out on him. I give you credit for pulling up the one public misstep of LeBron's entire career. That's a well-done knife to my back. They did go to the championship round, though, 4 times and won 2 of them. And in the NFL, that would assuredly be considered a dynasty. But you mentioned the Patriots. And, the Patriots don't, they never sign guys this type of deal. Here's kind of the underrated or under-discussed part of that. It's because the Patriots don't actually draft that well. They don't often draft star players or players that turn in to star players. They did it with Brady, they did it with Gronk, and you go up and down the list, not a bunch of other guys that turned into stars. Kelsey, Hill, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, all those guys drafted by the Chiefs, by this front, not all by this front office, some by this front office, and then extended by this front office. So there's more than one way to build a dynasty. The Patriots, because they had so many misses in the draft and they had the stability of Brady, their mantra of find other teams undervalued, distressed assets, bring them in cheaply, worked great for them. The Chiefs' philosophy of how about we just hit on our draft picks and then keep those players, Greg, that's actually really what your Packers tried to do. And I know your Packers didn't turn into a dynasty, but you guys won the Super Bowl, and then the very next year were a dominant team at 15-1. So I think there are multiple ways to try to do this, and extending your best players and finding the cap room to do so is always a good option in the NFL. And the whole league was hoping the Chiefs couldn't come to an agreement with Chris Jones. Unfortunately for everyone else, they did.
All right, let's take a turn, head to Dallas, where Dak Prescott's future could be all but done with no long-term deal on the horizon. That's next. First things first.